And what's up, everybody? This is Furious Francis over here from Playeressence.com. Welcome to another episode of Player Essence Cross Nintendo. And this is a mega episode. We're going to get a lot of news out, and we're going to have you guys' questions that I've asked for on the website here. So there's plenty to go over, plenty to talk about. Lindy Shutterbug, thank you for the shirt again. Now I'm rocking it during the show, so really appreciate you sending that in. Next, let's go ahead and we're going to move on to my PE reviews channel. This weekend, for the original content that we have on that, we're going to have my top 10 games of last generation. If you haven't subscribed to a Critical Hit Productions, one of our partner sites, please do so. He did his top 10 games of last generation, so I watched that and it kind of inspired me. I'm like, you know what, I should do my top 10 games of last generation. And just to let you guys know beforehand, this is not going to include handheld games or anything like that, just because those are kind of in a different generation. So we're just going to do console games, PS3, Xbox 360, PC. We're going to include PC in there, and we're also going to include, of course, Wii games. So it's going to be pretty cool. You guys are going to be interested in. There might be some surprises in there as far as my top games of last generation. So you guys will see. All right, next, we're going to move on to the Nintendo news. That is the best Nintendo news for this week, and there is plenty. Trust me, there's going to be a long list of here. We're going to have some main topics, or one main topic that I'm going to talk about, then your questions answered. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So Super Mario 3D World info, blowout, new trailer, analysis, interactive maps. There is all sorts of stuff on this game. If I had to put all of the information that we have on Super Mario 3D World up on the site, for me to tell you guys right now, it would take so long. So what I'm going to do is I have a link in the description below, and there is going to be tons of videos. It's just going to link you to our Super Mario 3D World page, where you're going to be able to see all of the new stuff, because Nintendo's kind of giving the game out for people, or like all the journalists and stuff now, and YouTubers, they're all getting the game and playing it and analyzing the newest trailers and doing all sorts of stuff. So it's really, really cool. Of course, I'm going to be playing the game as well. I'm going to be reviewing the game on my PE reviews channel, so I'm really excited. So if you want to watch some Super Mario 3D World coverage, if you want to see the latest things on the game, check out the link below. You'll see that there's tons of good stuff. So really good. Now, moving on to some more Super Mario 3D World news. We have Super Mario 3D World file size has been revealed, and it is less than 2 gigabytes. Yes, all of those pretty pictures and those nice graphics that they have running on the Wii U, that is less than 2 gigabytes. This game is optimized for download. I mean, I definitely think Nintendo's trying to push people to download, and plus their hard drive, their standard hard drive is smaller, so Nintendo needs to make sure they do their best as far as their games go to shorten the span. I mean, also I think that there's no voice acting in that game, so you don't have to worry about dual voice tracks or things like that. Or there's voice acting, but very little voice acting, so you don't have to worry about that, so they can just really compress things. So really cool that it's that small. Now I think I'm probably going to download it, but I'll probably also get the physical copy too. I don't know, I'm weird like that. But anyway, so yeah, we have information on that. Plus, The Legend of Zelda, A Link Between Worlds file size is also revealed. You can check that out in the description below. All right, next. Oh, and as far as the official file size, I never did. It is less than 2 gigabytes. It's about 1.7 gigabytes in size. It's 1,702 megabytes. That's the official download size. All right, next we're going to move on to Pokemon X and Y, the Luminose City Save Glitch patch is up on the eShop. This is a problem if you saved around certain parts of the big city. You'd have to, when you saved it and you exited, it wouldn't let you start back up your game, like if you saved near cars and stuff. So Nintendo has finally got around to patching that. It didn't take them too long after it was discovered, so that's pretty good. And Pokemon X and Y, if you haven't seen my review on the game, it is up on my PE reviews channel. I'll also link that. This is a fantastic game. They got the patch up, so now there's no issues. If you haven't picked up Pokemon X and Y, you need to go pick it up. It is really good. This game is actually bringing back a lot of the people, from what I'm understanding, bringing back a lot of people who played Pokemon Red and Blue and who haven't played the games since then, or if you played maybe Ruby and Sapphire, you actually get to get Squirtle and Charmander and Bulbasaur. You actually get those Pokemon as well as the new starters as well. So very good. The internet's fantastic. I reviewed the game. I gave it a 9.5. Fantastic game. Go out and buy it. I don't know what else I can say about how good this game is. This is basically what I'm doing in between posts all day, is playing Pokemon X and Y, and then after I'm done playing with my daughter, I put her to sleep or something, then I'm playing more Pokemon X and Y. So fantastic game. Please go out there and buy it. You will not be sorry. 700 Pokemon. Online play is fantastic. Game chat, trading Pokemon. Oh my god, there's so much stuff to do. So I know it was a story about a save patch, but man, there was just so much stuff in that game. I had to kind of endorse it a little bit. I really like that game. It's runner-up for, or it's definitely a big contender for Game of the Year for me. All right, next we're going to move on to Skylanders SWAP Force Wii U bundle is dropping on November 15th, which happens to be the same day that another next generation system comes out. Oh yeah, the PS4. North America, Nintendo has announced that the Skylanders SWAP Force Wii U bundle is dropping on November 15th, which is the same day as the PS4 in North America. And for $299, you get a white basic Wii U, Skylanders SWAP Force starter pack with the game. Comes with 3 separate Skylanders in there. A Portal of Power, collector's poster, trading card, sticker sheet, the Nintendo Land game. Now this is the full boxed Nintendo Land, not a download code. Nintendo Land game, and of course, like I said, those 3 figures. So that's really good. That's a really good deal, especially if you're a kid and you love Skylanders. I mean, you see your systems, you know, parents are looking to buy something and they see a Skylanders bundle with Nintendo Land and Skylanders and all that stuff for $299. I mean, free online play. You kind of have to gravitate for adults buying for their kids. If my daughter was old enough, she's getting that bundle ASAP, but she's not. So, and I don't want that bundle. But it's a very good bundle for families, for parents out there, for their kids. Or if you're a kid, you're scrounging up for money, you're looking to have something to play. That's a good bundle. I think that is a good idea. Dropping it on the same day as the PS4. Hey, we all know the PS4 is going to sell a lot in North America, but having another bundle there to go up against it, you know, it's something's better than nothing. So I like the idea of that. Sometimes kids might not be attracted to Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD. You know, there's that bundle, or maybe they don't like just Nintendo Land. Skylanders is a big billion-dollar franchise, so to get that bundled in with the Wii U, you know, instead of the PS4 and Xbox One have it, but they don't have it bundled. So pretty good on Nintendo's part, in my opinion. I think it's going to sell really well, just like the Wind Waker HD bundle is selling really well right now. So we'll see. All right, next we're going to move on to another bundle. The new Super Mario Bros. U and Super Luigi U bundle has been confirmed for North America at $299. That's dropping sometime before Black Friday. We don't know, at some point that's going to be dropping. Target advertised it in their Black Friday ads. So pretty cool. Another bundle for people to pick from, and plenty of gameplay in there, plenty of hours, especially with Super Mario U, and then you have new Super Luigi U. And man, both of those games are going to take you a while to beat. You know, they're long games for platformers, so that's very good. You don't get Nintendo Land in there, so I mean, it just depends if you like Mario or not. But either way, they kind of attract different type of audiences, I guess. So really cool as far as the bundle goes. $299, great deal. So another good bundle for Nintendo. And next, we're going to move on to the Nintendo 3DS is actually getting multicolored charging cradles on the Club Nintendo, which is free, just for all, because I know a lot of you guys are new Wii U owners, or you guys didn't buy the Wii, you guys are now on Wii U. Club Nintendo, you can go on there, and anytime you buy a game, there will be a little packet inside your booklet, or even your console, there'll be a little red packet, and from there you can enter that code in, sign up, go on Club Nintendo, sign up, and you get coins, and those coins you can redeem for free stuff, shirts. You can get there's like this charging cradle, which is coming out on October 31st. You can get screensavers, you can get Wii remote holders. There's just all sorts of stuff, posters. There's all sorts of cool Nintendo swag on there, so you can go on there and sign up, get that. That's free as far as signing and all that good stuff. So I definitely suggest doing that, and that's pretty cool. These multicolored charging cradles, they're cool. I'm going to go ahead and get the red one on October 31st. Now, they are limited in quantity and stock, so make sure you are there. You know, don't wait a week or something. It's probably going to be sold out. So make sure you go on there on October 31st and claim the color you want and have them ship it to your house. And remember, shipping is always 100% free on Club Nintendo. All right. Next, one more thing I want to add to that. It's 500 coins. So not bad. 500 coins. One game gives you 50 coins. Surveys give you 10. So I mean, you could register a game and do a couple surveys, and you know, register a few games here and there, and do a couple surveys, and you'll have those 500 coins in no time. So pretty cool. All right, next, got a little eShop discount for you guys. So Resident Evil Revelations is $20 on the Wii U eShop, and that's through till October 31st. You can pick up Resident Evil Revelations on the Wii U eShop only for $19.99. Now, I've also heard that the 3DS eShop version is $9.99, although I haven't confirmed that myself. I have actually confirmed Resident Evil Revelations is $20 on the Wii U eShop. So I'm pretty sure you guys will let me know if the 3DS version is $9.99 on there. But I know for a fact you can go pick up Resident Evil Revelations, which is a fantastic HD port to the Wii U. You can pick that up. Has off-TV play, has expanded online with raid mode, co-op in there. Very fun, very good. I have the 3DS version. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get the Wii U version too, so that's pretty cool. All right, next we're going to move on to Amazon. You know, Amazon and Nintendo have always had a kind of a beef, but now at least they've reconciled things partly. You can actually buy pink and black 3DS XLs on the Amazon shop here in North America, so that's pretty good. They're now selling them directly. Now, they've always sold them through third-party vendors, but now they're selling 3DS XLs directly. One of my users, I'm not exactly sure, but I heard that the reason why Amazon and Nintendo have this beef, which has resulted into them not selling, you know, DS's and Wii U's and Wii's directly, is because of something to do with the 3DS, the original 3DS is scratching screens, and Amazon didn't want to deal with the payments and returns and stuff, so there was problems there. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but at least they've reconciled it with the 3DS XL. 3DS XL screens don't scratch, so maybe there's something to that there. So pretty cool there. Hopefully they can get the Wii U selling on there as well as other 3DS models too. All right. Next, we're going to move on to some sales data here. The Pokemon charts. Well, we should start calling it the Pokemon charts. Actually, the 3DS eShop charts have been released, and Pokemon X and Y is pretty much dominating the charts, and it's not by a small margin. They don't tell you sales data, but from my indication from who I've talked to, Pokemon X and Y is doing extremely well on the eShop. A lot of people are buying Pokemon X and Y on the eShop because they want to have that experience on the go, to where they don't have to worry about switching discs and cartridges out. And for me, it works well because there's two games that I always want to have at all times. It's Fire Emblem Awakening, and it's also Luigi's Mansion. Those are the two games that I want to have on my cartridge at all time. I want to have on my system at all time. Pokemon X and Y, it's that physical cartridge. I actually have a physical and I don't have the digital, but I know I'm not going to be taking that anytime soon. Like Fire Emblem Awakening and Luigi's Mansion, those are the games I just kind of go back to every now and then, and I wouldn't want to switch. So if you're into the digital downloading, or if you're into that, it seems like it's doing very, very well for itself. And Pokemon X and Y is demolishing all. SteamWorld Dig, another fantastic game. It has actually went up a spot, went up to number 5. They had that sale, which I think I reported that on for you guys. So they had that sale. I bought it as well. Just haven't been able to play it, but it was like $7 for the game. So very, very cool. SteamWorld Dig is an awesome game, so go pick it up. Or I've played it, but I haven't really put many hours into it just because of Pokemon. Okay, so that basically wraps up the 3DS charts. Remember, all this information is also in the description below. Next, we're going to move on to the Wii U eShop charts. And once again, good news for Nintendo. The Wind Waker HD is number 1. And like I've been saying, what that says that the Wind Waker HD is number 1 is that, one, people are buying that bundle. People are buying this game, you know, just straight up off the eShop, you know, just for the heck of it. Now that the retail version is out, people are buying that bundle and they're using that code, and that registers as a sale. That's the reason why Wind Waker HD is still up here, still at number 1, which, like I said, is good news. We found out that, of course, Wii U, I think it was last week, Wii U sales rose, where the sales were around 90 to 100K for the month, you know, with only tracking for 15 days or so. So that's very good. People are continuing to register that download code, which is good for Nintendo, especially going into November here, where they're going to have a lot of good software. So it seems like the Wind Waker HD is helping them get by. We'll see how the numbers go with the NPD at the next month, but November should be very good for Nintendo as well. So Wind Waker HD number 1. One thing to know, some other notable titles on the Wii U eShop is Earthbound, number 6. Nintendo, if you guys haven't got the picture now that people want Earthbound and people want another one, I think Earthbound being number 6 now, months after its release, that's indication that we want another Earthbound, that North America wants another Earthbound. I think people are buying this game just to please Nintendo, please get us an Earthbound on the Wii U eShop, get us an Earthbound. You know, you guys are wizards with the file sizes. Make a huge Earthbound game, make it, you know, barely a gigabyte. Put that on the eShop. People will eat it up. So Earthbound number 6, very good. New Super Mario Bros. U, also very good. Pikmin 3 showing up in the charts at 14 and 16 respectively out of the top 20. So people are still picking up Pikmin. People are still picking up New Super Mario Bros. U, which is insane. That was a launch title, and it's still going very strong. So very good numbers all around. I think Nintendo's happy with their digital sales, and of course going into next month with so many big games coming in, even Sonic Lost World coming out at the end of this month in North America. So many big games coming out. Those eShop sales are going to continue going up, so good stuff all around there. All right, so that basically wraps it up for all of the articles here. There is actually more news. I just wanted to keep this somewhat, I mean, of course it's a bigger episode, but need to keep it somewhat intact. So that's all for that I have right now for you guys as far as articles go. Remember, all of these articles are in the description below. You can check them out. I suggest you guys should definitely head over to playeressence.com and check out any of the articles that I've talked about today. All right, next we're going to move on to the main topic. All right, we are back with the main topic, and we're going to talk about the big rumor this whole week. And this whole week, it was basically the reimagined HD rumor remakes. Now, where this came from, this like the Paul Gale Network, something like that. I'll have a link below so you can go check it out where the original rumor came from and what he said. So basically, Nintendo is working on these HD remakes, remasters, like The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD. Like that, meaningful remakes that add content, could add multiplayer, could add new things in there, you know, co-op or other things like that. And what they're going to be doing is they're going to be taking classics like the 64 games or maybe GameCube games and remastering them, making them really nice, and releasing them on the Wii U eShop for $30 a pop. And what this strategy is for is to fill in the gaps between the big releases. Now, The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD took 6 months to develop. If you have a game that's maybe smaller in scope, like let's say F-Zero GX, you know, or something along that nature, you can maybe even shorten that time down a little bit more to maybe 4 or 5 months. And then what that affords you is that maybe you can potentially pump out, if you have 2 separate teams working on different games, you can pump out 3 to 4 of these things a year. And what you can do is you can balance that in between the Smash Bros. And the Mario Karts and the DKC Tropical Freezes and the Super Mario 3D Worlds and the Zeldas. You can balance that out so there's not those droughts that Nintendo's so used to having as far as their software goes. And I 100% believe this is going to happen. Now, I'm not necessarily 100% sold on everything. Like they say it's going to be Super Mario 64 is going to be the first game, and they're going to have co-op on there, online co-op. I don't know about all that, but what I do know is that it would be a smart idea, and I think that they're going to do this just because if Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD took only 6 months to develop, and look at how it's selling. I mean, retail, it's sold good in retail too. I mean, look at how good it's selling. That's so much money. It's so much money Nintendo could make, especially with Wind Waker HD. Only 6 months, you know that game doesn't have a huge budget, yet it's selling like a huge budget game. It is selling like a big budget game. So I know Nintendo likes money, like all companies in business, and if they can make a lot of money off this, which they can, they're going to do it. Super Mario 64, that's been one of the most requested remakes, HD remakes that we can get, and I think they're going to do it. I definitely think that something's going to happen along those lines. They've seen the light with Legend of Zelda, and I think that they're going to do more. Now, to add some fire to this rumor, to back it up, Miyamoto doesn't shy away from it. In an interview, this is what Miyamoto said about remaking HD games. He said, or remaking classic games. He said, as for remaking previous games in HD, that's certainly possible. But currently, most of our devs are working on new stuff, and we like to have them working on new stuff. HD remakes might, however, be a good project for a development partner of ours. So that's something I hope we have the opportunity to introduce in the future. He's pretty much alluding, oh, I hope it's something we have to do in the future. Why would he say all this if it's not going to happen? I mean, it's going to. And remember, The Legend of Zelda: Wind Waker HD was not developed directly by Nintendo. They were developed by an outside development team, the same team who developed Third Birthday, which was a Square Enix, like a shooter, something like that. It was like on the PSP, like a third-person shooter on the PSP. They're the same team who developed that. So Nintendo's gonna reach out and let these other people do these remakes, HD remakes. Maybe get people that have already worked on other HD games and stuff like that. Get them 4, 5, 6 months. Hey, let's get a Mario. Let's get F-Zero GX with online play. You know, HD graphics. Let's get a Wave Race, or let's get 1080 snowboarding. Let's get all these classes that we have, spin them up, make them look nice. They don't have to be the best looking games, you know, out there. They just have to look good. They just have to be modern and look good, just like The Legend of Zelda: Wind Waker HD does. So make them modern, add some features, add some good gamepad integration like Zelda did, and bam, you have a guaranteed probably like 300 to 400K right there. And depending like what franchise, like if you're talking about Mario 64 HD, that's going to sell a lot more than $1 million. And that's not going to take anywhere near as much to develop. So, I mean, I agree. This is a good idea. I think it's going to happen. Miyamoto's alluding to it. He's saying, hopefully we have the opportunity to introduce it in the future. So, I mean, something's going down to where maybe it's not all the games, maybe it's not Mario 64, but something is definitely going down in that path. Nintendo has seen the money with Zelda, so they're not gonna let this opportunity slip by. I can guarantee you that. So that's my take on this whole reimagined rumor that's going around. Hopefully it happens. I want to see it. Like I said, it's going to be $30 a pop from what the rumor says. $30 a pop on the eShop only. No physical releases, just so they can minimize costs. Now maybe there might be a physical release if people ask for it, because remember that's what Super Luigi U, it was going to be just digital only, but then people kept on asking, hey, can we get a physical copy? Can we get a physical copy? And Nintendo said okay, and they charged $10 more for the physical copy, $30 instead of $20. So and the pricing isn't 100% guaranteed. These might be $20 a pop. Who knows? And then maybe a physical version is $30. It was a good idea that they did a physical version of Super Luigi U, because the physical version sold well. It sold like 120K in the MPD like a couple months ago. So the physical version was good. So maybe they'll continue to do that. So we will see. All right. So that basically wraps it up for all of the news and the topics. Now we're going to go ahead and get to you guys' user questions as I switch over here. So I'm going to move over to Playeressence site here, and I'm going to answer all of the questions that I got here. And just to let you guys know, I'm sorry that I didn't, I'm filming this is way before 8 o'clock. I'm filming this before because I actually have some stuff that I have to do a little bit later. So sorry if you guys didn't get your questions answered. I'm already filming. I'll answer them on a future episode. All right. The first question is from Sevenson, and his questions are, is the Wii U dead after no third-party support? No, the Wii U's not dead after no third-party support, because Nintendo has their own IPs which drive sales, like as you've seen with The Legend of Zelda: Wind Waker HD. And I'm guessing that you're talking about no third-party support, as in like no like major, like all of the games like the Xbox 360 or Xbox One and PS4 are gonna get, because Nintendo's gonna get games here and there from third parties, just not everything. And then there's indie developers, so I'm guessing you mean that. No, just as long as Nintendo has their big name games, and as long as they have the indie titles and the virtual console titles to fill in the gaps and for people to get their fill as far as non-Nintendo content, and just as long as they get like Call of Duty and they get other games like that, then they should be okay. Next, he has another question. Okay, Wii U sales for Christmas, they're going to be good. Skylanders SWAP Force bundle, New Super Mario Bros. Super Mario 3D World is going to sell like crazy. They have Wii Fit U also. There's going to be content there. As far as worldwide sales go, Nintendo's going to do very, very well. Plus, the PS4 and the Xbox One don't launch in Japan until next year, so only next-gen system in Japan. So yeah, Wii U sales are going to be good this Christmas. And another question he has. More games for next year Nintendo Direct. Yes, there's going to be probably Nintendo Direct in December or January detailing new games. We're probably going to see the next Zelda, in my opinion. We're probably going to see some more games that they've been working on. The new Kirby game for the 3DS, we're probably going to see more of that. We might see, maybe they show off what Mistwalker is working on for the Wii U. Mistwalker is pretty much gave away that they're working on a Wii U game. So maybe we see something that they're working on for Wii U. Who knows? Nintendo has a lot of tricks up their sleeve, like they always do. And Disney plus Nintendo equals, I don't care. Disney plus Nintendo equals no. Partnerships, like I already talked about this before in the video, but partnerships, yeah, you want to do a partnership, make Epic Mickey, like a real sequel to Epic Mickey 1, like that's not jacked up by add all these different systems from people who don't even want to play the game. Yeah, add a real sequel to the first Epic Mickey on Wii. Yeah, partnership for that, great. Get one of Nintendo's teams to do it, great. Next level games, have them make it. But Disney buying Nintendo being owned by Disney, no, because I fear what's going to happen to the teams like Monolith Soft and the teams like Mistwalker and those teams. Are we going to get those products that we get? I don't think so with Disney. I don't think so. Are they going to license out Nintendo's games to EA or to other companies? Like, absolutely not. I don't want Disney owning Nintendo. I just think Nintendo's good on their own. I don't care that there's not a theme park, a Nintendo Land theme park. I really don't care. Like, people are talking, oh, it'd be great for that. I don't care. Nintendo sells their games. They're a video game company. They make some anime, Pokemon, but I don't care. I want to play Nintendo games. I like the way Nintendo operates their business. They make mistakes. That's fine. Everybody makes mistakes. There's nobody that doesn't make mistakes. So let them make their mistakes. Play their games when they come out. Because Nintendo makes mistakes or because they haven't marketed, it doesn't affect how much I like Pokemon X and Y, or how much I'm looking forward to Super Mario 3D World, or how much I'm looking forward to playing tennis against my brother in Wii Sports Club. That has no effect on that. So I'm not worried about it. But no, Disney plus Nintendo. Partnerships only. Disney buying them. Hell no. Alright, next. Fire Emblem 3DS Game of the Year. As of right now, yeah. Fire Emblem 3DS, Fire Emblem Awakening is by far the best game of the year. I've played a lot of different games. I'm about 6 hours into The Last of Us, and you know, it's a good game, in which a lot of people are giving Game of the Year. But I mean, it's basically a movie. The gameplay and the AI are the AI is horrible in that game. Like, it's just absolutely, you can't have a game that's like stealth based and the AI is horrible. Like, for me in 2008, Metal Gear Solid 4 was my game of the year in 2008, and that's because that had great AI for a stealth game. I mean, this game, it's not even better than Metal Gear Solid 4's AI, which that game's 2008. This is a 2013 game, so no, Last of Us. And GTA, I'm not going to talk about. I mean, I've played a little. I've been playing. I'm about maybe 6 or 7 hours into GTA when I get a chance, and I'm just not. I stopped playing. I'm just not feeling it. Yeah. So, yeah, for me, Fire Emblem Awakening, definitely game of the year. Let's see. Liquid Sun. What's up, Liquid? Question: how would you feel if Nintendo remade some games in HD? You already talked about that. Great stuff. All those games that he said: Super Mario 64, Star Fox Adventures, F-Zero. Yes, remake them all. Eternal Darkness. Sure, why not? All right, Revolution 5268. Do you believe that GTA 5 hurt sales for a lot of games, especially on the Wii U, like Wonderful 101? No. Why? Like, why? Why do people just say stuff like this to create controversy? The Wonderful 101 is a Wii U exclusive. GTA 5 is not on the Wii U. It's not on the Wii U. It didn't hurt sales. If somebody wanted the Wonderful 101, or if somebody likes the Wonderful 101 and then they have a Wii U, they're going to buy the game. You know, what hurt the Wonderful 101 more than anything was basically it's a new IP with a low install base. That's the problem with the Wonderful 101. It's a new IP with a low install base, and it's a really technical type of game, weird type of game. The graphics aren't spectacular, you know, and Nintendo didn't market it as this big budget AAA game like they did, like they're kind of doing with, like they did with Pikmin, and like they're kind of doing with Legend of Zelda, you know. So it's not going to have those sales. I don't think that game cost a lot of money. I don't think Nintendo's sweating that the game didn't sell very well. I really don't think that they are. I don't think that they care. They've moved on. So. No, they didn't. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be hostile. I've heard this question so many times. I'm just like, every time I'm like, no, it didn't hurt sales. Because if that was the case, then The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD, why'd that game sell so well? That game came out in September as well. It came out during GTA hoopla, and that game's selling fantastic. That game's still selling on the eShop. People are still buying it. So, no. No. Why is everyone trying to be Pactor? Because a lot of people on the internet are stupid. I'll elaborate a little bit. Everybody's trying to be Pactor because they don't like Nintendo. They try to bring up sales numbers to just, you know, halt Nintendo or whatever, just bash Nintendo. It's just a way for them to bash Nintendo. You know, last generation you didn't see as many Pactors with the DS and the Wii because they sold so well. So people just said that it sucks. But now that the Wii U isn't selling well, but the 3DS is selling well, they'll stop talking about the 3DS and they'll only talk about the Wii U, and then they'll become Pactor. That's how you become Pactor, when something's not selling well. Now, if the Wii U turns it around, you will see people stop trying to be like Pactor, especially when it comes to the Nintendo side of things. All right. Next, is the Ouya alive or dead, or will this? Also, will it happen to other consoles like Steambox, for example? Comparing the Steambox to the Ouya is no. That's not going to happen. Steambox is going to be successful, in my opinion. Ouya is alive or dead? I have no clue about the Ouya. It's like a small games machine. I'm not sure about the Ouya. Who knows? I don't know what's going on with the Ouya. So I think it's alive. Who knows? All right, next question. Mike PF. What games would you like to see on Wii U next year, and what kind of updates would you like to see for the Wii U OS? Okay, very good question, Mike. What type of games? So we have confirmed. We have Playeressence X. We have Bayonetta 2. We have Shin Megami Tensei Crossfire. That's not confirmed, but I'm guessing 2014. We have Mario Kart 8. We have Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. We have potentially Zelda. That's not confirmed, but potentially Zelda. And that's pretty much it. So we have 7 games that we know to look forward to. And for Nintendo, that's a big year. So I'm looking forward to all of those games. Now, other games that I would like to see on Wii U, I would like to see Miss Walker's new game. Hopefully they announce that. I would like to see an Advanced Wars for the Wii U and the 3DS. I'd like to see them make it for both and have them have cross-play or have them have interaction between the two. I would also like to see a Fire Emblem game, pure Fire Emblem game on the Wii U as well. So like, I'd actually like a sequel to Awakening. So Fire Emblem Awakening, I'd love to see a sequel to that game or a game in that vein where you're using Chrom and those characters. I don't want a new cast. I want to play as those characters, those people again. Something happens and I want to play as those characters. Have your own avatar in there. Fire Emblem Awakening is pure genius. There's so little things wrong with that game. If they put that game, if they make something like that on Wii U, ooh, and they add some Miiverse and some multiplayer or some type of just Miiverse swapping items and maybe co-op play through Miiverse, man, that would be, whew. Take my money, Nintendo. Anyway, so for the Wii U OS. Now this is a big thing here because people see me as just, I never think there's anything wrong with Nintendo. No, you ask me the right questions and I will tell you things that's wrong with Nintendo. Anybody who's watched my show, my Playeressence vidcast, or one of those shows where it was after the PS4 reveal, knows that when it comes to functionality, when it comes to certain things with the Nintendo's OS, that's where I get a little critical, and that's where I feel that Nintendo needs to improve on. Games, graphics, all of that stuff, I don't care. When people say that's why I don't care about those things, but when it comes to the OS, here are the things that I want to see. I want to see voice chat, like cross-game chat. That needs to be standard implemented. I want to be able to press on somebody's name and instead of going into Miiverse, I want to be able to do voice chat straight from there without having to go into there. Not video chat, do voice chat straight from there. I want to be able to look at certain things, like send them a message without going into Miiverse. So being able to easily send them a message without going into Miiverse. I want party chat. So I want to be able to invite you, invite Ricard Giuliani, invite Titan64, invite Revolution, invite all of you guys over, and we can play Mario Kart and we can party chat between us. I want to have that as well. I want to see an achievement system built into the Wii U. And I know a lot of you guys aren't big on achievements, but I will tell you one thing. I'm going to have a video uploading. Achievements can tell you one thing. They can tell you who's fake and who lies about video games and who's a poser, and they can tell you who's a real core gamer. Trust me, they can. If you look at my profiles on my Xbox 360, I don't BS you guys. When I tell you guys I'm good at Bayonetta, or when I tell you guys I love Platinum games, when you go on my achievement list on 360, you'll tell that I do, because you're not going to see a lot of people who have every single achievement in Bayonetta on the Xbox 360 and every single achievement on Vanquish. And if any of you guys played Vanquish, getting every single achievement in that game, especially the challenge mode achievement, is hard. And it's not just regular hard. It is insanely hard. So, in my opinion, you can tell who's a real gamer sometimes. Now, this isn't 100% because there's achievement hunters out there, but those guys are crazy too. But you can tell who's a gamer and who plays their games and who's good at games, and you can tell who's fake and whack, especially if they have a bunch of games and they barely even beat them. They don't even play their games. So that's the reason why I want Nintendo to have an achievement system. I want to be able to show you guys that one, I can play games and I like that, and I like collecting achievements and I like showing them off to my friends, and I like, me and my friends, we used to challenge each other like, oh hey, can you get this, can you this, me and my friend Andre, we would do that like Bayonetta, we did it with Vanquish, we do it with those games that really, that we really relate to and we really play a lot. We don't do it with just every game, you know, we just do it with those games that we really like. So for me, an achievement system would be big. Also, I like getting achievements in RPG games, like for instance, Star Ocean. That had an achievement in there. The Ethereal Queen. Anybody who's played a Tri-Ace game knows about the Ethereal Queen. She's in all of them. And what you have to do to get to her, the hell that you have to go through, the no saves, especially in Star Ocean on the Xbox 360, Star Ocean 4, The Last Hope. Holy crap, the endless dungeon. For me, I can respect people who go through those things as gamers, you know, and who just don't sit down and play COD all day or play Madden and play NBA. You know, the core gamers out there that can go there and beat the hard challenges. Because when I was growing up, that's how you were defined as a gamer. When you play those hard games and you beat those hard games and you get the high scores. So that's just me, and I really want Nintendo to implement that. I think that's been a big problem. And you know, you see guys, I've seen it before, like on these achievement sites, guys that have a Wii U, they're like 360 and Wii U, and they don't buy multi-plat games on the Wii U because it doesn't have a built-in achievement system. And it's upsetting that it doesn't have one, and it's something that if Nintendo loses sales for even one person saying that, it's a problem, because they could have more third-party sales if they decided to implement a proper achievement system. And with Nintendo, they can do it so much better. They can implement Club Nintendo in there. They can give you, that's my daughter in the background if you guys hear some noises. They can implement Club Nintendo. You can get coins, like maybe 5 coins or 2 coins, depending on what type of achievement you unlock, how hard it is. There's so much potential for Nintendo, and I just think that they need to do it. If you think about all the devices right now, you have the PS Vita. You know, that has one. You have the Xbox One, PS4. All of them have it. Steam has it. Everything has this thing. They need it. They need it. So hopefully that answers your question as far as the OS goes. Sorry, I know some of you guys are not big on achievements, but for me, that's kind of how, you know, before this generation went towards movie games and shooters like 2010 and down, you know, that's kind of how I related with the Xbox 360, is why I like that system so much from the years 2007 to 2010 or about 2011. I was so big on Xbox 360. I only played the Wii for just certain exclusives and maybe a third-party game here and there, and I was right back to playing Bayonetta, ripping it up in Vanquish, Star Ocean, Lost Odyssey. That's where I spent most of my time. So, you know, and the achievements really, I like getting them, so I thought they were fun. So yeah, that answers that question. Now, he has another question. Why do you think the video game community is always bitching about Nintendo? Because they're different. You know, when you're growing up as a kid, if you had kids that were different in your class, they would get teased. You know, if they were different from other people, if they had a problem with them, or if they weren't as good as something, they got teased. We all saw it. Heck, I've been the recipient of bullying and teasing, but I mean, I punched back, but sometimes I got beat up, sometimes I did the beating up. You know, it happens both ways, but that's what happens when you are different. If you're not doing the same thing as other people, those two people that that are doing the same thing, they're gonna gang up on the person who's not, and the smaller person that they feel is inferior. So that's what's happening with the Nintendo right now. That's what's always gonna happen. Nothing's gonna change until Nintendo starts acting like Microsoft and Sony, and that's not gonna happen. So people are always gonna be bitching about Nintendo, whether it's, you know, online or whatever. So that's gonna happen. What next generation console are you getting? I already got a Wii U. No, I know what you mean. PS4, Xbox One. I'll probably get a PS4 sometime. Like, it's gonna be a while. I'm getting the Steam box for sure. Day one, I'm getting Steam box. So maybe that's the next generation console / PC hybrid. I'm getting Steam box because I can bring over my whole library over to my Steam box, and I can be able to hook up my capture card a lot easier and be able to record gameplay. So yeah, Steam box. You're going to be getting Steam PC reviews on the PE Reviews channel next year. As soon as Steam drops, I'm going to be reviewing my backlog of Steam games. So Devil May Cry is probably going to be the first game. DMC Devil May Cry. I'll probably do Devil May Cry 4 as well. So to answer your question, Steam box first, PS4 probably in 2015 or 2016 when Final Fantasy drops. Okay, so that answers that. Next question is from Matthew Wesley. Why do people who proclaim to be Nintendo fans but want Nintendo to cease being Nintendo? And he also goes on to talk about give other examples. Now, I think that these fans, they don't understand how Nintendo operates, and they don't understand how the reason why we get all the stuff that we get from Nintendo is because of the way that they operate, because of the way they budget, because of the way they do things. And these fans just don't understand that. They just want Nintendo. They're kind of tweeners. They kind of want Nintendo to be more like Microsoft and Sony because they really enjoy those games on that system. But you can't have everything. Every company's not going to be the same. I would really like Microsoft to get back to doing what they did early in the generation and making a bunch of JRPGs and publishing a bunch of JRPGs, but is that going to happen? No. Am I going to sit here and complain about it online all day? No. I'm just going to move on. You know, I'm just going to move on and take what they give me. Microsoft isn't offering what I want, so I'm not going to buy their system. I don't need to go complain and say, I used to be a big Microsoft fan and now they're not doing what I want. Because trust me, I was a big Microsoft fan, believe it or not. From the years 2007 to 2010 or so, I loved Microsoft's games because they had all these great, games. And I'm not complaining all over YouTube and stuff. So people who, Nintendo fans who proclaim to be Nintendo fans, but they don't want Nintendo to act the way they do, it's just out of they don't know. There's fans that are even really big people here on YouTube that don't understand the way Nintendo works. They don't understand the way that they do things, and they want Nintendo to be like Microsoft and Sony. It's just not going to happen. So they're going to complain and complain and complain, but it's never going to change. So they can complain all they want to, and they just don't understand. That's all I can tell you. They don't understand how Nintendo works, and they don't understand why they do the things that they do to self-sustain themselves. But that's just how it is. That's how Nintendo has to do these things. Nintendo has to operate the way they do, or Nintendo will cease to be Nintendo, like you said. So, yep. All right. I have another question here. Aaron Bren asks, which Wii U indie or downloadable titles are you looking forward to most? And he says, I'm looking at Child of Light, Pure Solar, Unepic, Festival of Magic, hopefully I had in time. Personally, me, I am really looking forward to Child of Light. If you're going to call that an indie game, I guess so. Child of Light looks awesome. RPG, looks very, very good. Festival of Magic, also an RPG. As you can tell, I'm a huge RPG fan. Looks very, very good. So those are the two I'm looking forward to the most. Here's another question. What do you expect to play as the most in the upcoming Smash Bros? Who have been your favorites in previous games? Smash Bros. So, I'm Wolf. I can really do some damage with Wolf in the previous Smash Bros. Brawl. I can't use Falco, but I can use Fox. I can pretty much use almost every character in that game, except for like King Dedede or like Peach and stuff like that. But I can use everybody else. The Year of Luigi, which will be over by next year, but I can use Luigi. I like him. I like Wolf, like I said. I like Fox, like I said. I like Sonic. I think he's cool. I like Pit. I'm okay with him. So those are the type of the characters I've used. Melee, I liked Captain Falcon, and I also used Fox too, and Pikachu. The 64 version, I use Pikachu all the time and Fox. Pikachu and Fox for the 64. So, yep. Do you have any ideas for the gamepad you haven't seen implemented yet? For example, I'm hoping for a game with ghost vision where you're able to walk around on the TV, but there are ghosts or something you could only see on the gamepad only by pointing and using the gyro control, sort of like Goggles in 13 Ghosts. Are there any ideas for the gamepad? I don't think there's any ideas. Really, what I want to see as an enhancer. So like Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD, using that as an enhancer to the core gameplay, being able to have your items and being able to switch them on the fly, stuff like that. Zombie U used it in a very unique way for the multiplayer. I would like to see what Zombie U did as far as like the Zombie Master, to where you can place zombies and do stuff like that. I would like to see that implemented more in multiplayer and make it like online multiplayer and make it multiple players and have multiple Zombie Masters, and you can have like a team of survivors using Pro Controllers versus a team of Zombie Masters who just put the zombies and work together and can level up their zombies. That would be fantastic. I mean, if Ubisoft did that and had online multiplayer and marketed it that way, Zombie U would have sold 2 million copies or something crazy. But they went the cheap route, of course, for the Wii U game, and it only had co-op, two-player co-op, or two-player multiplayer, not online. So I'd like to see that a little bit more. So yeah, but your idea is really good too. So for me, I'm a big RPG fan, so I want to see what Zelda did and more. So, yep. All right, next we're gonna move on to the Magnum 924. He asks, do you think Nintendo will ever make their own first-person shooter? If so, do you think it'll be mature? Okay, I think they'll make their own first-person shooter. If you're not counting Zelda, or not Zelda, if you're not counting Metroid, which I don't think Metroid is classified as that, but yeah, they'll make their own shooter. They did with Geist. They didn't really make anything on the Wii, even though the Wii was set up for that. But I think that they'll bring some. I think they'll work with a partner and they'll make some type of shooter or publish some type of thing in the future, maybe. All right, next person, that's his name. Person asks, Do you think the Wii U will get a Metroid game? If so, do you think it will be Retro Studios who make it? Yes, the Wii U is going to get a Metroid game. Retro Studios, I think they are working on another Metroid game. If they're not working on a Metroid game, they're working on a new IP. But I think they're working on a Metroid game. They hired so much talent. There's going to be a Metroid game on Wii U. Now, Nintendo is very wary about budgets. They are very cognizant, and they know for a fact, like, people talk about they want Metroid all the time, but when Metroid comes out, Nintendo fans don't buy it. All the people who play Mario and stuff, all the core Mario fans don't buy Metroid, so that's the problem. You know, they released Metroid Prime 1, Metroid Prime 2, Metroid Prime 3. None of those games broke 3 million units for some reason. I mean, and then you look at a game like Luigi's Mansion, and that's probably going to break 3 million units by the end of the year. You know, so for Nintendo, it's a weird proposition because they know if they make a Metroid game on Wii U, it needs to be spectacular graphics. It can't be crappy graphics, or not crappy, but it can't be lower graphics. It can't be cute and kitty or anything like that. It needs to be very detailed, it needs to be in-depth, and it needs to be very technically focused because that's what people are going to be looking for with the Metroid game. That's what people want. The Metroid games on the GameCube were pushed the tech to the fullest, in my opinion, as far as visuals go. Even the Wii, Metroid Prime Corruption, that's probably one of the best looking games on Wii, you know. So they need to make sure that they push the Wii U with the new Metroid game. So they're going to need time. They're going to need time to make that sort of game, and it just can't be a shell, you know. And what I mean by shell is like games that come out on other systems and make a shooting game, and there's really not much mechanics, or there's really not much to it, not a lot of core gameplay. That's not Zelda, or that's not Metroid. Sorry, that's not Metroid. Metroid needs to be in depth. Metroid needs to have puzzles. Metroid needs to have upgrades. Metroid needs to have complex game mechanics. Metroid can't be some simple cut and dry shooter. It needs to be very good, and it needs to be high quality. So that's why you're not seeing that this year, and it's going to take some time, probably 2015, 2016. All right, next we're going to go on to Ed Nice, and he asks, do you think Activision will pour support for the Wii U? No. See the SWAP Force bundle? So no, Activision is not pouring support for the Wii U. Next, Titan 64. This is an overall question, but why do some people think Nintendo makes games too easy or holds your hand when in reality they give you options to make the game more difficult and or allow other players to ignore tutorials, Skyward Sword's Hero Mode, Pokemon X and Y? I don't know if people think Nintendo's games are too easy. I think people just look at Nintendo's games and they see the aesthetics and they say, oh, this must be easy because it looks like that. They're idiots, because anybody who's played a Nintendo game knows that Nintendo games are much harder than most Xbox and PlayStation games. I mean, pretty much all first-party games from Microsoft and Sony are not as hard as Nintendo games for the most part. Fire Emblem Awakening on the hardest difficulty, that crushes anything. Like, I'm playing, you know, games from, like, for instance, I've played like Uncharted's crushing mode. There's nothing crushing about Uncharted's difficulty. So I don't know why people would say that. Nintendo's games are always difficult. Sometimes people look at the beginning levels and they say, oh, this is easy, you know, like Mario Galaxy. But once you get into Mario Galaxy, or once you get into New Super Mario Bros., you know that there's like big difficult levels. And Super Luigi U, that game is really hard as well. So I mean, I don't know why people think that. It's, if some people do, they're stupid. They don't. It's the people who don't play their games. Then don't play them through all the way. All right. Next, Players Choice Network asks, do you think cross-platform online will happen between all consoles this gen? And if so, do you think it will help Nintendo get support from third parties? It could help Nintendo get support from third parties. I don't think it's going to happen with every system. I'm not sure what's going to happen with Microsoft, their system. But I definitely think that we're going to see cross-platform play between consoles and PCs, like Nintendo's doing with some of their games, or consoles and 3DS and iPhones and stuff like that. I think we're going to see stuff like that. But I don't know about all the different consoles. I'm not sure about that. Next, Harden25. If the Xbox One and PS4 sell Wii U numbers in the first 6 to 8 months, do you think third-party companies will supporting the Wii U more? Maybe, but I don't know. I mean, with the PS3, the support was slow to get to that system, all the support, but companies just kept on going and kept on going and kept on, because they want Sony to be successful, they want Microsoft to be successful. They have to have those companies around because Microsoft and Sony hand them out money like it's water. So I doubt that I'll even sell those numbers in the first place. I think they'll sell better just because Sony and Microsoft are going to definitely push and market and spend millions and millions and millions of dollars on marketing, and they're going to push, and third parties are going to show all the stops on there and put everything on there. So I don't think it's going to happen. But if it did, no, I don't think it's going to change anything. They're just going to keep on pushing till they're successful. So that's what they did with the PS3. Next, some random tarp guy. Yes, Francis, do you think Nintendo should sell themselves to Disney? No, I already talked about this. Watch my video. No. And he says hell no, I say hell no. No. Another question from some random tarp guy. Why do you think that Nintendo games have a slim chance winning Game of the Year awards? This one's complex. The reason why Nintendo games don't win Game of the Year awards, or they have slim chances, is because a lot of industry insiders and industry journalists, they feel that Nintendo doesn't do new things. They feel that they can't give a game like Mario all the time Game of the Year, or even games like Nintendo's games are too niche. So it's like Fire Emblem Awakening, not winning some of the Game of the Year awards, or not winning that. It's the same thing. They're just either too niche to do anything, or we've already played that. So that's why you're not going to get Nintendo Games' Game of the Year awards. In my opinion, Fire Emblem Awakening is by far the best game of this year, and the reason why is because it offers so many different ways to play for old school fans and for the new fans. Whereas like you play these newer school games that get Game of the Year, or people that are saying that are the greatest thing ever, and then they're not really set up for the old school fans like me. They're not really set up for the tweeners, the people that kind of like a little bit of both. And they're not. Nintendo's games also don't have the huge voice acting and the huge big cinematics all the time. They don't have all that stuff. So if you don't have voice acting, if you don't have the cinematics, and you don't have the grand scale of things, because a lot of reviewers and stuff, they're very jilted, or they're very enamored with that stuff. They like that stuff. They like the big cinematics and stuff like that. If you don't have those things and like the fantastic, super good graphics, the chances of you getting Game of the Year just go down and down and down. So for me, I look at the best game, but for a lot of people, the reviewers, that's how it is. So that's it. All right, so that basically wraps up all you guys' questions. Once again, I'm sorry I recorded this earlier, so if you didn't get your question answered, it will be answered on the next question podcast I do, or whatever. I'll do it at some time. So thank you for submitting all of your questions, and make sure you check out the description below, like I said, that has all of the articles that I talked about before, plus it has links to everything that we're going to be discussing, my PE reviews channel, my top 10 games of last generation. You can check that all out in the description below. All right, make sure you check out Playeressence.com all this weekend. We're going to have updates going up, so make sure you tune in. Also, make sure you like this video, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. We're also getting a ton of new people come to the site, so I really appreciate all of the new subscribers and all of the new visitors to Playeressence.com. All right, once again, I am Furious Francis, and we will see you guys next time on Player Essence Cross Nintendo. Peace.